I'm going to bring up two more words, choice and responsibility. Now, with all of this, people say that everything is a choice and that you are your sum of your choices. So, and then with that comes the responsibility of you have to take ownership of what you're doing. So how does that fit into everything we've said so far?
Oh, that immediately what comes up for me is being authentic. Making choices and taking responsibility is very much to do with being authentic. Very often, I think, it's not that people have mistakenly chosen to look at things a certain way, but I think, it's only now that we're starting to understand that, we actually do very much create our own lives the way they are. It's not somebody else's choices or responsibility. There's actually very little that's outside of our control in terms of our own lives. So, when we start taking active responsibility for the choices we've made and the situations that we've created and the circumstances we find ourselves in, just doing that empowers us to be able to make better choices, because it's a different space. It's kind of a higher state of wisdom to be in full responsibility and full authenticity with yourself than to be blaming other people and playing the victim, because that's a sort of powerless state to be in. So it's automatically empowering to take responsibility for your life, and then that has a proactive aspect in terms of then you can extend that into what do I want from my life, and you can start making proactive choices, looking at things in a more with a bit more balanced perspective, and understanding that you're in charge of what you're going to create.
Responsibility is my favorite topic. How much time do we have? Yeah. So, number one thing in people's life that disempowers them in life is not taking the responsibility, as we are talking here about. Is we are constantly looking for something out there that is happening to us. Life is happening to us, and unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It happens through us. We are the co-creators. We are creating, and we blame pretty much all the time the circumstances, the people outside of us for whatever we are. It's almost like most people don't even realize how much they are giving that power away to the outside circumstances. The moment we actually take 100 full responsibility, we are claiming our power back, and only from that space we are able to change the circumstances in right that moment. And another thing that will probably blow many people's minds, and just let's do it because we are talking outside the box, is that there is a God out there who is either doing things to us or giving us things. So again, we are disempowering ourselves, not being able to create what we want in life. But it's not so. We are, as the fingers are a part of the hand, so we are an extension of God. What does that mean? God is actually happening through us. It's expressing ourselves through us. So we really have a free will to choose whatever we want to choose. But we have to understand that there is nowhere out there to go for help or for for supply. We are our own supply. Money is not our supplies, our relationships, our jobs. Nothing on the outside is our supply. It's that's why I say abundance or prosperity or money, it's a spiritual journey of getting to know yourself. It's a spiritual journey. And how well we are doing with that is going to correspond how well we are serving ourselves, and how well are we serving others, and how well we are exchanging the constant flow of the giving and the receiving energy. That's how we are going to bloom, and it's going to show in all areas of our lives, including the finances. Money is energy. Energy is infinite. There is an infinite amount of energy and money. And just to give a slight example, money is being transferred electronically nowadays for a long time. It goes through ethers every single day. Billions of dollars are not being physically transferred. There is no physical money. It goes through ethers. It's right here, everywhere. It goes through us. What happens is just we need to tap into that energy. Money is all around us. It's just amazing. It's so much to talk about that, but it's going back to responsibility. Is taking the responsibility for our life, however shitty situation we are in. But the moment we are actually agreeing with that, that's what I created, then we realize we have the power to uncreate it or create something else.
From my experience, well, say 20 years ago to now, because a lot has changed. 20 years ago, if somebody said, you know, you did all this, I would have said, yeah, okay, just get lost. But what I'm seeing now is that was unconscious. The choices are being made, but if you don't know about them, they're still being made. Mm-hmm. They say gravity hits you wherever you are, even if you don't understand it.
Yeah.
Same with electricity, same with whatever laws are going on. So that's what I discovered about choices, that either you do it or they're done for you, but they're going to get done.
Yeah.
And if you don't know about it, they still get done.
Yeah.
So this is about either I'm going to do it and I'm going to know what I'm doing, or it's going to be handed to me with circumstance, or with scenarios, or with.
And the funny thing is that the circumstances that we get from the unconscious aspect you're talking about are always part of a growth curve. They're always part of a learning process. You know, people look at the way their life looks and they're very judgmental of it, and they decide that this is not what they deserve and life shouldn't look like that, and they have symptomatic results of that look like depression and resentment and anger and fear and all sorts of things. And that's basically just coming from a warped perspective of your reality. If you recognize that, you know, you're challenged in life anywhere where you're presently disempowered, then you start to realize, hang on, you know, these things that are challenging me are showing me what areas of my life I need to take a particular attention to empower myself. And any area of life can be developed into a power, to be empowered, so to speak. So, you know, one of the most valuable things, obviously, is your physical health and well-being. You know, so many of today's people just ignore their diet, they ignore their physical exercise, they let themselves kind of go, and they realize far too late they need to do something about all this. And then a lot of the damage has been done over 20 years of poor diet and lack of exercise. It's very difficult to recover from that. So, you know, that's just one area of life. You can look at, you know, social, for instance, your social engagement, your connections and influence, that can also be developed into a power. And in fact, whatever your particular values or motivations in life look like, your underlying desires, who you really are, you'll tend to focus on the specific areas, and each of those areas can actually be developed into a financial value. You know, people that are very healthy or into fitness, they find ways to make that pay for them. You know, they do fitness programs, or they become a fitness celebrity, or people who are, you know, have good genetics and look beautiful become models. And so there's ways to make physical pay, and it's the same for anything. You can tap into your social connections, you can tap into your family and understanding of relationships, and you can make that pay. You can take any area of life and transform it into money if you understand it and appreciate it properly.